literally live right now on all the platforms except for Instagram, in which that should be going live any moment now. There we are. Okay, very good. Well, hello everyone. Coming to you live from Chats Liquors right here on Capitol Hill, 503 8th Street, Southeast Washington, D.C. And many of you who purchase your wines and spirits from Chats may have seen this brand that we have adorning the table all the way from El Salvador. Is one of my favorite rum productions. Of course, I've been shouting about it for the last 3 years or so, getting everyone that I could to try it. I think there's such exceptional rums. Being in the Washington, D.C. metro area as well, with all of my friends, my family, my crew who are from El Salvador, who have family and friends from El Salvador. We celebrate El Salvadorian culture right here in the DMV, which I think is per capita the largest El Salvadorian population outside of El Salvador. So that's a beautiful thing. But I have the pleasure of being joined by Gabriella Ayala, who is the master blender at Cihuatan, as well as Juan Pacas, who is the co-founder of this amazing brand. And I didn't say it right. I always say Cihuatan, but it's Cihuatan.
Cihuatan. Yes.
Cihuatan. I have to change my pronunciation. It's been 3 years now.
That's okay.
I've been pronouncing it incorrectly for 3 years, so it might take me a few minutes to get it right. But Cihuatan is an exceptional brand. I had the pleasure of showing up to the Salvadorian embassy last night for an event that you all hosted. So welcome, Juan. Welcome, Gabriella, to Chats. It's such a pleasure to have you here in Washington.
Thank you so much, Burnie, for having us. We're really excited. And as you were mentioning, being in DC for us is very special because of how many Salvadorians live here. There's a really great community. And we had the honor yesterday in the embassy of being able to present our brand there and connect with this amazing community of Salvadorians in DC.
Absolutely. What a wonderful turnout you had last night. And not only did we have the pleasure of enjoying these amazing rums that we are going to taste today, folks. Once again, I know most of them, but there is one at the end that I was just introduced to last night. But you all also made cocktails with these rums and some authentic and classic and fun artisan cocktails, which are really neat. So these are certainly capable of enhancing your cocktails. Definitely. If you want to be creative with a beautifully crafted, high quality rum, but at the same time, they're so drinkable by themselves as well. So just kind of dialing it back a little bit, because there'll be people who are watching this live and or catch the replay who haven't heard of or tasted Cihuatan yet. But Juan, you decided to create this brand.
Yeah.
What year was this? 2004?
Well, we started aging the rum in 2004.
Yes, absolutely.
We started aging in 2004. And this was a really interesting project because there had never been a rum produced in El Salvador. Even though we're a sugarcane producing country, no one had ever taken the risk, I like to say, of producing rum.
Yeah.
So we would always ask ourselves why this was. And it being part of a sugar mill, we decided in 2004 and actually the only distillery in our country, we decided to begin aging rums. And it really started as an experiment and with the vision of creating something that would become the ambassador of our country. And I think this vision and having this very clear helped us right since the beginning to make decisions that would guarantee the quality of the rum, right? Yeah. Because if you're making the ambassador of your country, it has to be amazing. You can't do something so-so.
Absolutely. That's absolutely true. Now, there is something special in the way in which you all approach this, because you're coming from a sugarcane sugar production
exactly
into distillation. So you have these controls and this knowledge about the raw material that you're going to be producing something grand from when it comes to this amazing beverage. And Gabriella, I just learned that you came from the sugar production side of things into the rum production as master blender.
Yeah.
And I just realized today, folks, on every bottle, there's Gabriella. I'm so sorry. Did I say Daniela before? Gabriella. I have both daughters. Gabriella. Shout out to my daughter Gabriella, Camila,
Oh,
Daniela, Janela. Absolutely. So forgive me if I confuse my daughters as well. But forgive me if I misspoke. But Gabriella came to it from the sugar production side of things. Her name is on every bottle there, her signature and all, which is super neat. I didn't realize that before. So
She's the artist, so
She is the
she has to
artist.
sign her creation.
indeed, indeed. And so how has that journey and transition been coming from sugar production into actually blending these artisan rums?
Wow, very interesting because when I met Juan Alfredo, I told him, I always ask me why El Salvador doesn't have rum.
Yeah.
And we have a very strong sugar industry, and we
Right.
don't have own rum.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Juan Alfredo,
Mm-hmm.
and we talk about it and all the vision that in this case the entrepreneur has about the rum. For me, in love that, and I feel very comprometida. Committed to create a very good rum because they trust of me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's certainly crafted and blended in a way that offers personality to each of the expressions. There's the jade, there's the indigo, the artisano, the cinnabario, all exceptional. I want to get into tasting some of them, and then maybe we can talk about like maybe each expression. Starting with the jade, which is a 4-year age minimum, right?
Yes.
4 years age minimum,
Minimum.
but it's clear. Let's put some of that in the glass and figure out why is that 4-year age rum clear.
Yeah, in a ex-bourbon barrel, but we
Hey,
want
Juan, would you mind pouring?
to have the flavors and aromas from the ex-bourbon barrel, like white chocolate, vanilla,
There you go.
my friend.
white pepper,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a little flavor from the sugar cane too, like a mint.
Yes.
And I think 4 years in a ex-bourbon barrel give a personality to this rum.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, this rum pass through charcoal filter, and the charcoal
Okay.
filter remove the tannins and the color, and only give us these sweet flavors from the barrel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it becomes clear due to charcoal filtration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So you, I think that it was maybe a few brands of rum, but definitely within tequila production, we learned about the cristalinos, and so the aged product that's then filtered back to a clear, which is interesting to see more and more diversity with a rum done in the same style, giving it more character than it would regularly have, right? Nice. Well, I can't wait to get into this jade. I just wanted to maybe pop an image up of the jade so that you all can see it a bit more clearly compared to seeing it there on the table, which might be a little difficult right now unless you have really good eyes, right? Yeah, so that is the Cihuatan Jade 4-year Cristal Cristalino. And yeah.
So remember, I was telling you about Cihuatan being the ambassador of our country.
Yes.
And since it's the ambassador, we want each of the rums to tell a different legend or tradition from our Mayan culture. Okay, so for example, Jade, it tells the story of Chakchel, the Mayan goddess of the arts. And we decided to get inspiration from Chakchel for this reference because it's created for mixology. So we want Chakchel to be an inspiration for mixologists to create amazing cocktails with Cihuatan.
Nice, nice. The art, the history, the culture, the rum. I tell you, it's such a beautiful, beautiful expression of what you would consider a light rum, but once again, it just is elevated due to proper barrel aging.
Yeah.
There's some creaminess there,
Yeah.
freshness that's really nice.
White chocolate.
The white chocolate note is there, yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, cheers. to you.
Cheers.
Thank you, thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Gabriella, on. Mmm.
It's very smooth.
Mm-hmm.
You feel the sweetness from the sugarcane.
Absolutely.
Yeah. A
the
finish of white
flavors.
pepper.
White pepper.
The finish is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
A little salty too.
Yeah. Yum. Wow, that is super, super neat. So, cocktail wise, you could just really have a lot of fun with that, right?
This one is like even though it has a lot of personality,
Yeah.
we like to see it as a blank canvas for mixology to create anything really, really elevating cocktails. We're super happy with this one. I think Gabi did an amazing job in the creation of this rum because first of all, she collaborated with different mixologists, so she listened to what they needed in their bars to create great cocktails. And actually, Jade won a best in class double gold medal in the Bartender Spirits Award.
Wow.
So we're super happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is super awesome. Well, congratulations on that. I see a big
you.
96 points on
Thanks.
there.
96.
Yeah, absolutely. 96 points. I mean, that's something to be super impressed about and proud about. So I'm going to run that ticker, folks, because this is one that we usually have at Chats. As I looked up there when Gabriella came in, I said, oops, we'll need to make an order for more Jade. Because that one is out of stock at the moment, but it'll be back very, very soon. I love where your brand is positioned, not only competitively, you know, as being a great alternative to so many other brands, but also price wise, like really folks for the quality. They really do hit the market in a competitive manner to be that option of a rum compared to the more mass production rums that we don't have this closeness, this relationship with the producers, which is a beautiful thing, right? To be sitting here with the actual producers, the folks who had the vision, they have the palate, the imagination to create this extraordinary brand. So super good. Next up to that is the Cihuatan Indigo, which is an 8-year expression. Yeah, that would be great to use that as the dump, right? 8-year expression. Folks, I have been so in love with this particular offering for the last 3 years or so. I think just from the balance, the freshness, the sugars that are there, giving a little bit of a roundness and sweetness, but also the balance of the oak that's used. It frames the flavors of the rum so very well in this indigo, and it's great for this time of the year. We're in 95 to 105 degree temps here in DC this week, so you know, drinking alcoholic beverages could be quite a chore if it's not of quality. And so this one definitely is of quality. So yes, to you all in creating my favorite rum, I will have to say, from the line, and it's not the most expensive, folks, but it's just always so good.
It's good.
It never disappoints, and it just keeps getting better from here. But literally, I just love this indigo.
Yeah.
So
This is basically the personality of ex-bourbon barrel.
I see.
Ex-bourbon barrel we obtain dark chocolate in this case because 8 years old.
Okay.
Creme brulee,
Yes.
cappuccino, a little note
Cappuccino.
of coffee.
All right. Let's get that one. Yes. Cappuccino, notes of coffee, creme brulee. I get creme brulee for sure. I think that's the one thing that's
Caramel.
attracts me to this product so much, that creme brulee freshness, that light creaminess.
And in
Hint of citrus.
mouth, you feel that character from the oak and a spice note like cinnamon, nutmeg.
The nutmeg, yeah.
This is a good sign
Yes.
because it's very long and
Yeah.
it's like an explosion of flavors in your mouth.
Indeed, indeed.
And the best sign is your smile, Burnie.
There you go. Well, you're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see a lot of that because, you can't help but to smile when enjoying these rums. But once again, this one kind of puts you in a cool place. It's generous across the palate and long. There's so many flavors, but there is no attack. There's no intensities, no harshness, no disjointed characteristic from the flavor to the alcohol. From the front end to the back end, there's kind of these nuances of change and development, but nothing that's striking you in a non-elegant way, right? There's just really a purity to it that's fun to drink.
Yeah, it's a very friendly rum too for us. Right from the beginning, it was really important to create rums that were so good that they can be enjoyed neat or on the rocks, but they are also super versatile. You can use them to create amazing cocktails as well.
Absolutely.
And just play around and experiment with them.
Indeed.
So Indigo for us is like the entry point into our brand, and it's the rum that we like to say will captivate people who try them and want them make them want to explore the rest of the portfolio.
You are certainly right on that one, because when I had that indigo, I said, all right, what else do they have? Because the indigo is just so delicious. It really, really is. And every time I have it, you pointed out, I just can't help but smile because it just puts you in a happy place. So folks, check out the indigo. I think I can't sing it more praise than I have. Really excellent blending on this one.
Thank you.
And for this one, we are talking about bourbon barrels here, exclusively bourbon barrels.
All ex-bourbon barrels. Yep.
And an 8-year age statement it has. What does that mean exactly when you see an age statement on your rums?
Yeah.
Does that mean that 8 year is a guaranteed time frame? Is it 100% 8 years? Can some be less than 8 years? Some a little
That's
bit older?
a really good question, and I think that's something that makes our brand very different from many other rum brands that are in the market. When we make an age statement, it's true age, which means it's the minimum age that the rum has. So, for example, Indigo, 8 years means it has been aged for at least 8 years in ex-bourbon barrels.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Sometimes Gabby has to do a little adjustment by adding higher age, right, in the formula, but it's a minimum of 8 years.
Well, we appreciate you using any older whiskey any older rum that you need to kind of keep the indigo as perfect as you make it for a certain. This is a delight.
Something that is always fun that we do, and it's become like a tradition in our company.
What's that?
Is whenever Gavi creates a new batch of rum, for example, a new batch of Indigo, for quality control, we need to make sure that the new batch is the same as the previous batch. So everyone in the office is trained to do this evaluation, but we normally meet first thing in the morning because that when our palates are the freshest, right? So Gabi tries to trick us. She puts 3 glasses, 2 with the old batch and 1 with the new batch. So we have to taste them. And as tasters, we have to try to determine which one is the different glass.
Wow.
If we figure it out, then Gabi has to go back and do adjustments in the
Yeah.
formula. But if we fail, if we can't identify it, it means that Gabi has done an amazing job and the new batch is released. But this is always a lot of fun, and it has become sort of like a competition within the team, like who can figure it out.
Indeed. Oh, that is so amazing, so amazing. But that also brings everyone to the table
Exactly.
to share in the experience.
Yep.
Gabrielle can delight in seeing everyone's enjoyment and the fun, the kind of participation that happens.
Exactly.
The culture within the distillery at this time of sitting around the table and just really having fun tasting
Having
the
fun
whiskey
with
and,
It's
and
very
kind of playing a
fun.
game with it. Yeah. that
Very
is
fun job.
right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure that there's nothing but beautiful times, so much fun had at the distillery.
Definitely.
Truly,
Yeah.
truly, right? And you all have been, once again, distilling since 2004.
2004.
But I hear you didn't release any rum until
2015.
2015.
2015, that was a
Right.
really long wait. And this is something I think has made a really big difference in our brand, because
Okay.
knowing that we're representing our country,
Right.
it makes us be really vigilant about quality. And right from the beginning, we knew that in order to achieve this quality for rum, we needed patience and time for aging. So it has also been a learning process, because rum had never been produced in El Salvador. So we had to learn every single step of the way. We didn't have like that tradition. So we've had to learn everything. We've learned traditions from many different countries and adapted them to create our own style.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Gosh. Well, I remember when my buddy Raul initially introduced me to the brand. Of course, he is Craft Wines and Spirits in the marketplace, the distributor for the Cihuatan Rums. And he told me that this was the first rum brand of El Salvador.
Yep.
And I said, that doesn't sound right. Really? But then in thinking about it, I said, I haven't heard of any others. And of course, the good old Google, said, yep, no other distillers. There are some bottlers and so forth and all. But cheers to you all for being the first. And are you all still the only in El Salvador proper distillers from start to finish?
The only one.
Distilling, aging, and bottling.
Exactly.
Wow.
The only
How about
ones.
that?
And it was a big challenge right from the beginning, because not only did we have to position Cihuatan as a rum brand, we also had to position El Salvador as a rum producing country. So that was a challenge, but it was so much fun to do and gratifying, because we love also to talk about El Salvador, that it has so many great things to offer. So it's really a privilege to have that opportunity.
Indeed. Well, it's a privilege that you are here. Gosh, this has been years in the making that I've been looking forward to meeting you. Didn't know that you were going to be as delightful as you are, but oh my gosh, what an amazing time. And the next rum that we're going to enjoy is one that is definitely, I could say it's unique. It's a special rum. The first time I saw it and tasted it, I don't know if I quite understood it, because, gosh, I see a 10-year age statement on this bottle, but I also see pineapple. And in my mind, like, this is older than what was my favorite, the 8-year. And there's pineapple in here. Like, how in the world will this make any sense to ruin this rum by adding a pineapple flavor agent to this rum? Why would they do this? But then my whole perception was changed once I had the actual glass of this rum.
Yeah.
So talking about innovation, I learned last night as well, this is not only a pineapple rum that undergoes this natural infusion, but the quality of the pineapple, the local pineapple and so forth that you're using. Speak more to that. I want to say it.
Well, Artesano we created for mixologists
Mm-hmm.
and for create new cocktails. And they ask for a natural flavor of pineapple in a rum. And we work with agricultor,
Pineapple
a
producer.
pineapple producer in a very famous town in El Salvador for producing pineapples, Santa Maria Ostuma. And our pineapples are organic, golden pineapples, and use these natural pineapples. Basically, with I select a 10 years old rum, and we put pineapple pieces of pineapple into the rum, and all the juice of the pineapple go to the
Are absorbed by the rum. Yeah.
And for me, it's a very, very good marriage between the flavors of the pineapple with the flavors of these aged rums.
Right. Absolutely. And one thing that I really appreciated about it, there is this very pure, authentic, natural pineapple extraction that you see here. It's not, the candied, I guess, manufactured flavor profile that you might, taste in other, flavored beverages, right? Which kind of is the expectation. A dull pineapple, out of the can, just put in here. No, there's a warm, almost like you can taste some of the finer elements of the pineapple all the way up to maybe even close to the skin of the, the shell of the pineapple itself. Real authentic, and it's warm.
Yeah.
Blending it with a 10-year-old, which I would say is getting into the point of age where you're starting to see more mature flavors just from the aging process, right?
Yeah.
Those mature notes that kind of bring some of the fruit notes and kind of the playful, tender sweetness down to another level of maybe more earth, a bit more leathers, a bit more of the barrel flavors, the spices, the smoke. Yeah. All that is incorporated into this particular rum.
Yeah.
And the nose is super unique, super gorgeous. Now, you can line up a bunch of pineapple rums, and I'll be able to pick this one out of the lineup for sure.
Yeah, and I think using a 10-year rum as a base for this infusion is what it gives this rum is this quality that's not fresh pineapple. So it's more of a baked or a grilled pineapple. There's a Salvadoran pastry called semita. That is a pastry filled with pineapple jam. Okay. And for me, it reminds me, and Gabi always says this as well, it reminds us so much of the flavor of Salvadorian semita.
Wow.
And it's really cool to be able to bottle semita and export it to the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have to remember that, the Salvadorian semita.
Semita.
Yes, absolutely. And I now look forward to maybe having semita myself at some point, so I can make that association.
Yeah, really, really
good. Indeed. But something that certainly, you can sip this. You can make simple cocktails over ice, a little ginger beer, a little twist of lime or something. I mean, just could be so refreshing. It's very tropical. Especially as I'm considering, if I were to, just add a little bit of a spritzer to it or what have you, it'd be so tropical and refreshing. But at the base, the warmth of it, it's also a serious rum underneath. Definitely. So I assume that you use this both with cocktails,
both as well. My go-to cocktail with Artesano pineapple is a classic daiquiri with the twist of using a pineapple rum. For me, it's a super easy to make cocktail that has that acidity from the lime, the sweetness from the syrup, the complexity of the rum, and it's just so refreshing. Well, for this weather, which,
Yeah.
to be honest, it feels like home.
It feels like yeah.
It feels like home. But
Very-
a
very-
daiquiri with this rum with artesano pineapple for me is super amazing and refreshing.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Well, it's delicious. It has been a feature as well here at Chats, and a unique and delicious 10-year-old pineapple infused with natural pineapples from the town of
Santa Maria Ostuma.
Santa Maria Ostuma. Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to them for making excellent pineapples and for Gabby deciding to put some pineapple in 10-year-old rum, folks. It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's delicious. All right. Well, that's so good. That's so good. We're going to move on to the next rum, which has a little bit more age. It's a 12-year. It's a dozen years, folks. It is a dozen years, and Sanabrio is the name of it. And I will say that while my favorite is the 8-year-old, just because I can just have it anytime, the 12-year-old is also quite delicious. I think my customers really, really do enjoy the Sanabrio as well, especially those who want a bit more of the baking spices to come forth, maybe a little bit more of the wood, integration, the tannins and so forth within their rum, especially if you're coming from a whiskey, the whiskey side of things.
Yeah,
so,
that's something I've noticed, that people who normally like bourbon are very into Sanabrio.
Yes, absolutely. I have found that as well, for sure.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh. Just the freshness factor of the Cihuatan Rum is just outstanding. There is no volatility of alcohol, folks. Zero volatility of alcohol. So you have to really be careful.
It's very elegant.
Absolutely.
Caramelizes orange peel a little.
Yeah.
A star fruit.
A star fruit, super long as well, the aftertaste.
And there's such a kind of broad mouthfeel to this one. The viscosity is great. Last night, just swirling these rums in the glass, the legs are slow.
Yeah.
There's so much kind of texture and weight to the rums, but it's able to also just give you such freshness and kind of an approachability and a dancing on the palate still. Beautiful rum.
Thank you.
This is certainly one that, once again, I also just notice a little bit more of the structure on the palate, the wood notes, slightly maybe a drier finish as well on the palate. So really interesting, really interesting.
Sure.
Once again, there are various expressions here, and they will associate to various palates, right? So within this rum lineup, if folks have had certain rums and they're saying, wow, rum is a little too sweet, right? One of the things I like to point out is that not all rums are made the same. You all go through a process over years of aging these properly in barrel. Now, the color that you have here, is that natural from barrel, or can you kind of maybe add a bit of molasses to it, a bit to darken it, or to maybe make changes?
Caramel from sugarcane, from the sugarcane, is very natural. It's like to reach a standard color for each rum.
Okay, good. But these don't taste sweet, folks. People who are familiar with rums that are maybe classified as a gold rum or dark rum alone, those don't have to be oak aged, right? We are drinking rum that has 4-year, 8-year, 10-year, 12-year, and soon 16-year we'll finish up with. But these have nuances of aged spirits, barrel aged spirits. And that positions it amongst other great beverages, distilled beverages, whether it's Kentucky bourbon, Scottish, single malt, cognac or another brandies, Armagnac, or what have you. These are aged spirits.
Yeah.
But one of the fun things about rum, I think, is that you are in warm climates for longer periods of time, and the rapid aging processes that you have in that climate versus a more northern climate very different, much more rapid, and the equivalent of a younger rum can match that of, a product from a more northern climate 2-3 times, the age of a rum, and see some of the same nuances.
Yeah.
So really, really neat that is. So when we're drinking this 12-year rum, associating it to a cognac, this might be a 25-year-old cognac.
Maybe.
Right. 25-year-old cognac, as far as the quality of just the aging goes.
Yeah. Burnie, I have a question for you. Would you use this, for example, for a cocktail?
You know what I was thinking about as I was considering the other rums, the previous rums, is that because of the wood note, because of the structure, an old fashioned, something like this, and it even already has a little bit of a citrus note, kind of an orange citrus spritz, then that could be a lot of fun. So, gosh, just with the bitters, that twist there, I could certainly sub this out for a fun old fashioned, right?
My favorite with this is old fashioned.
It's an old fashioned,
and Negroni also.
And Negroni,
a variation of Negroni, amazing.
Absolutely,
really good.
Absolutely. Well, I can understand that. For certain, I can certainly understand that. But the funny thing about it is that, and I know this is going to sound crazy, with the jade, there was a little bit of a salinity there, and it's such freshness that I could see for that one a Bloody Mary.
Wow. Yeah.
I just threw that out there. I just threw it out there. But I was thinking,
as soon as I get home.
It's a little salinity. It's so fresh, like, a little tomato, and some of these flavors, I don't know if I can associate it to kind of a proper, Bloody Mary as we might know it, but with the fresh veggies and tomatoes and some spices and so forth, that could also put me in kind of a Caribbean-esque, a Latin-esque mindset, right?
Yeah.
As I'm having, chips, some salsa and so forth.
Definitely.
I don't know.
That's a good idea. I'll have to try that.
Yeah. Heard it first here at Chats.
When we go to El Salvador, Gabby, Monday, first thing in the morning, or Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary, absolutely. First thing in the morning, for certain. I'm glad I could help. But a terrific rum. Of course, this brand does not disappoint, folks. And Gabby, I'm so sorry. I'm using your water.
Don't worry.
There you go. But this brand does not disappoint at all. There's something for everyone. And I am just super delighted to have the opportunity to retaste the final rum that's here on the table. Let me find the pick for that one. And is this it? Is that correct? Let's see. It's downloading. Is that the one?
That is the one.
That's it, huh?
No.
That's it. So such a beautiful decanter-like bottle it has.
It's a very beautiful rum too.
I'd like to.
So I would love to know the inspiration and everything about this rum.
The story behind this rum is actually really interesting because, as I was telling you, each one of our rums is telling a Mayan story, and the story that this rum tells is the story of Shaman, who was the Mayan god of the North Star. So legend has it that the sleeping woman, who is our muse, and is in the center of every one of our bottles.
Okay.
The Mayans thought she was a goddess that would ask the other gods for prosperity for Cihuatan. So this shows the sleeping woman. She would see Shaman, the North Star, cross the sky during the night, And in the morning, she would see him rest on top of a ceiba tree. The ceiba was the Mayan tree of life.
Wow.
Okay? So when we discovered this legend with Gavi, we said, what would happen if we age rum in ceiba wood?
Wow.
Imagine.
Wow.
So we actually went and created it with a carpenter in El Salvador because there are no coopers in El Salvador.
Right, right. Absolutely.
With a carpenter, we developed a barrel and started aging rum in it. And when we tasted the result, we were really amazed because the ceiba, we had no idea what effect it would have.
Indeed.
And it ended up giving the rum a balsamic character. Also some notes of charcuterie, maybe bacon. Personally, it reminds me of a baked ham, that glazed ham that my grandmother used to make. So for this reference for our Shaman XO, Gavi decided to use 15-year-old rums aged in ex-bourbon barrels.
Okay.
And finish them for 1 extra year in ceiba barrels. 1 year in ceiba is enough to give it all the character.
Yes, absolutely. I thought it was one of the more interesting rums I had tasted at the event last night at the Salvadorian embassy, where I had no idea that was 16 years. So what a treat it was to me to find this one there, and then now to be aware that it's available.
It is available
now,
yes.
huh? Okay, good.
It is available.
Super unique. So you can potentially argue this is the first product potentially aged in
ceiba.
Ceiba
Yes.
barrels.
Yeah.
It's a very unique rum in the world.
Right. Absolutely that.
And
Wow,
you
folks.
feel
I mean, you might want
the-
to sit back and have a cigar with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the balsamic note. A little bit the vanilla from the ex-bourbon barrels. It's here.
Super complex.
Wow.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Broad, complex, definitely into a realm that gives you such mature flavors. It reminds me a bit of an Armagnac almost, right? Kind of with that type of density, a little bit of a Rancio-like note.
Yeah.
You know, the reduction that happens over that long period of aging time. Wow. Warm smoky notes, barrel notes as well. Yeah. This is a well-crafted rum that literally, I tell folks, once you hit a certain age, quality and then age statement across categories of fine spirits, you'll see more similarities than you do just kind of within the vertical of a category. So you can certainly position fine spirits, once again, whether they're whiskeys, brandies, rums, kind of on equal footing, because the flavors, you only can achieve certain flavors once you get to a certain age.
Exactly.
And of course, it has to start with the quality of distillation as well, right? But once you get to a certain age, you kind of, the category is one thing, but amongst fine spirits, I could sit this in a flight with other quality products that are probably 3, 4, 5 times the price of this. And this will be a contender.
Will hold up.
This will hold up for certain. Certain. This is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
That's a really interesting take, Burnie. I had never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's like the at a certain level of quality and age, it becomes more comparable, I would say.
Correct.
Between one category and the other.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Super interesting.
Yeah. Indeed. Wow, this is so good. Folks, we don't have this one yet, but it will be at Chats Liquors very soon. But I love the bottle. You're paying homage to even more of the culture, and utilizing just the bounty of resources that you have there in Salvador, and bringing that to the world. Yeah. So cheers to
That's
you.
what moves
for-
us.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. This is so good, folks. Literally, this is the stock, right? Yeah. What's the price point? Don't say it too loud. Just about you can
what it is?
no. Yeah, just give me just you can use hand signals. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Once again, fraction of the price of what you can place beside it and get close to the enjoyment factor that you're going to have in this. Wow. Absolutely outstanding, folks. Absolutely outstanding. So, can we look for? Well, actually, let me go back. There have been some productions that even friends have bought me that they either got from El Salvador or was traveling of Cihuatans that we may not have in the marketplace. Some special editions and so forth. You all do quite a bit more than just what we see here.
Yeah, so this is more our permanent portfolio.
Okay.
But every 2 years or so, we release a new limited edition.
I see.
And these limited edition rums, we love making them with Gabby because it's where we go crazy with really honing in the storytelling of our Mayan traditions.
Indeed.
And actually also going crazy with the production process and the blending process. So the idea is to really be able to incorporate these Mayan traditions into the way that we're producing these rums. So for example, we're very close to sending our latest limited edition here to the States, which talks about the Mayan god of luck that was called Muan Mat. So the Mayans believed that Muan Mat would send good luck to the earth through shooting stars. And that when shooting stars hit the earth, they would form quartz. So the Mayans believed that quartz held the energy of good luck. So all their water, their drinking water, they would filter it through quartz to capture the good luck. So we decided to do this with rum. Why not capture good luck through rum? So Suerte is our limited edition that has been, we use 15-year-old rums aged in virgin barrels and then filtered through quartz to capture the good luck of Muan Mat.
No way.
Imagine. Yeah.
That is so awesome.
And we have so much fun making them, right, Gabby?
Right.
Coming up with the...
Now, with a quartz filtration, what exactly does that do? Does it make it a cristal or cristalino, or is it just
It still has
does it
the
maintain
color?
its color?
Maybe Gabby, you can tell us.
We use aged rum in new barrels because 16 years old in a new barrel is a lot of tannins and oak flavors and colors. But the quartz remove a little bit this oak and become the rum more smooth and soft and give a little bit of mineral flavors to the rum,
nice. Okay.
a salty note, and it's very, very interesting.
Very good. And that's coming to the U.S. market.
That's coming to the U.S. market. Very limited, but it's going to be here.
Right. Yeah. Good. Well, we definitely have that. We definitely have that to look forward to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so every 2 years or so, we release a different limited edition. It takes a lot of time to come up with these ideas and to actually execute them in because of the aging and everything.
Of course.
But it's a really nice way for us as well to learn about our culture.
Right.
We have to do a lot of research and talk to anthropologists and archaeologists to find these stories and discover them ourselves and then share them with the world.
Indeed. Well, I love that, Juan, you founded this company back in 2004, but you still find yourself finding so much more information that keeps you excited, that keeps Gabriella excited about continuing to produce something that is super unique. So, you know, just literally the starting point of getting established was one thing, but now the journey just continues to be, I'm sure, very fulfilled in learning more and more about your culture, learning more and more about the production of rums, and using your imagination to really just expand all of our interest in not only the culture, Salvador, but what can be done with rum as well.
Yeah.
So kudos to you. I just want to also share. Absolutely. I want to share your website as well. Let's see. Let's go. I have too many things open, everybody. I have way too many things open. Or sure. I'm going to share this one right here. So,
yeah.
Boom. But with all of the other pages that I have open over here on this other side, I am going to have to find. Yeah. Oh, I have it. I have it up. But I have so many tabs open. Literally, Tony, you don't understand.
You're a true multitasker, Burnie.
They see what I'm going through right now. They see that there are so many tabs open. So bear with us one moment, folks. I'll have to edit that out with a repost that I'm attempting to find the page. But let's see if we just run through here, then it should come up as well. A wonderful website. I think it gives you some good information, the history and so forth. Yeah. Of,
a lot of
your
information. It has all that information. Also, if you'd like to follow us on Instagram, it's Cihuatan Rum.
Yes.
We're always posting our new products, more information about our rums. Some of Gabby's takes on the industry and rum production, so it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. That. Let's see what's on there. I don't know why I'm not able to. That. I'm so sorry, folks. So let's do this. I'll share this screen really quickly. And then move over here and share this tab instead. Here we go. That should do it. Yeah, so I'm just going to enlarge that. I'm going to enlarge that now. So this is their website, everybody. Cihuatan Rum, Cihuatan.com, yes? And look at the beautiful bottles. That looks so gorgeous. Right there with the water behind it, like that indigo is just so perfect.
In El Salvador too.
Yeah.
Salvador,
yes. So this picture here on your front page of your website.
Yeah.
What is this mountain range here?
Okay, so remember I was telling you about the sleeping woman.
Yes.
So this whole legend about the sleeping woman comes from the mountain that you're seeing on screen.
Yes.
The Mayans, if you can see at the top of the mountain, there's the silhouette of a woman lying on her back, sleeping. So the Mayans believed that she was a goddess that had traveled the world and had selected the Cihuatan Valley to rest and give it fertility and riches. So the sleeping woman is our muse. She's the protector of our aging warehouses, of our sugarcane fields, of our distillation process. And she's who inspires every single one of our rums.
Oh my God.
And she is in the center, in the heart of each one of our labels.
I see.
You can see she's depicted here.
Yes, absolutely. So that's it.
Woman. Yep.
Indeed. And that's a real place that is the depiction on the label. So I did want to show that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's very important to really understanding the foundation of what you have built within your rum brand. So gosh, Gabriella, oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Burnie, thank you so much.
Such a pleasure.
It's really a pleasure for us. Thank you for having us.
Oh my God.
We really appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, it's been my absolute pleasure. Thank you for sharing your rum with not only myself, but with the world. In your vision, your passion, may that continue to lead you to finding out so much more about the culture, wrapping that up in a beverage that we can just fall in love with and celebrate with. Continued success.
Thanks so much, Burnie.
Indeed, indeed. Well, folks, we're going to see you on the next visit from a producer from somewhere in the world, right? Gabriella and Juan are from El Salvador with this amazing Cihuatan Rum brand. I recommend you seek it out in whatever marketplace you're in, the Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland metro. You can find it right here at Chat's Liquors at 503 8th Street Southeast, right here on Capitol Hill, D.C. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope you enjoy this live stream and the repost. And see you soon. God bless.
Thank you.
Bye.